So I already tried to record this once before, turns out screen wasn't recording. So let's do it again. What's going on, everybody? Let's edit some photos in Lightroom. I'm gonna show you my entire workflow from start to end. So the first things first, sorting the images and keeping them organized in your hard drive. Over here, I have my folder. I use a single folder for each project, and you go inside of said folder and you find an edited, an LRCat, and a raw folder. Raw is where all the raw images go. It's where any photos that I took go into here. LRCat is where my Lightroom catalog files go. So when I create a new Lightroom Classic catalog, it gets saved into here. And that way it's alongside the raw images and everything is front and center for me to find if I ever need to in the future. And then edited is obviously where all of the edited photos and edited assets go. That is those three folders right there. Open up your Lightroom Classic catalog folder, and the only thing I've done is import the photos. So if you go into File, Import Photos and Video, it'll bring up the import window. That's what you're seeing right here. And then if I were to select all the images and import them, I've already done that because I didn't want to do it during the video recording and destroy my computer. So that's what we've got. I've already done that. We are set and ready to go. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the images, find every single one that I like, and I'm going to give it a 1-star rating. So I like that. I'm going to keep that one. He's thinking. He's really in his head there. I like that one of the gear. I know that there's a better one, though. So yep, there we go. Basically, I'm using the 1-star ratings to sort through the images by pressing the number 1 on top of any images that I like. So I liked that one. I like this one. I'm going to keep going through. They're all laughing, which is a good time. Boom, boom. I like that. I think that's a really good photo. I think that's a really good photo. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of them and give them a 1-star rating for all of the images that I like. And then I'm going to go through one more time and further sort it down to 2-star and maybe even 3-star if I'm feeling a little bit spicy, wanting to go a little bit deeper. Ooh, that's a good look. I like that. Let's do this. Now, here's the thing. I was using a V&D filter. If you look at my settings, I don't know why I was shooting at these settings. I was shooting at a freaking 1000 ISO and trying to crank it down with a V&D. Why? I don't know. But you can see the crazy vignetting on the edges. So what I will have to do is make sure that I crop in on most of these just to get rid of that hardcore vignetting. And any image that has that, I need to make sure that I can crop in because I'm going to have to crop in a lot to get rid of that vignetting, which is frustrating. But that's what happens when you make mistakes during filmmaking. You're not allowed to make mistakes during filmmaking or photography or anything, really. Don't make mistakes. It's stupid. I'm kidding. Failure is a part of the journey. All right, let's go into here. I got some wider photos of them all doing their thing. So that's all the images I got. Let's sort them down to 1-star. I got it down from 143 images to 16 that I really like. Let's choose one of these. I like this one. I'm going to go up to 2 stars now, and I'm going to be super selective about what I got. So I picked both of these images, but I like this one better. I think, well, I like this one composition-wise. I like this one because I can see more of both of their faces. I like that. There we go. I'm going to do that. I'm a fan of that. I think that one shows good. That one's good. And let's do this one. And that's all. So let me go up to 2-star. Now I've got 8 images out of the 143 that I've sorted down to that I really, really like. Now, first things first, I was shooting on the Z9. I was shooting with a 24-70. And I was shooting with a Pro Mist filter on. That's how I got a lot of these really, really nice blooms around with the light. I think it looks really, really good. I love it personally. We got some harsh highlights on his skin. We got some harsh highlights in other places, but it's okay. We'll work it out. So next, once I sort everything down to my liking and get all the images that I really want, I'm going to go over to the Develop tab. First, I'm going to go and look at some presets and see if I have anything that I like. I do, but for the sake of this video, I actually think I'm going to do a original edit, which means I'm going to pull out the loop deck. Just plug this in down here. Well, that's scary. That is just long enough to get to my computer. Sweet. All right. Let me just make sure it works. Boom. So basically what the loop deck does is it allows me to just control the camera settings with these little knobs. so I can get much more fine-tuned with my settings and the things that I do. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to adjust exposure quite a bit. I think I do want to expose the white balance as well. I think the white balance needs to be a little bit warmer and a little more on the green side. There we go. I'm happy with that. Now let's bring the overall exposure up, because what I want to do, I want to bring the whites down. I'll bring the whites down. I'm going to bring the highlights almost entirely down. Yeah, there we go. We got some detail back in his skin, which is nice. Then I'm going to bring the overall exposure up. And then what I would like to do is actually go down. I'm going to do, let's do some added dehaze in here just to add a little bit of, I don't want to do too much. Let's do some sharpening as well. Now, here's where things get fun. We're going to mess with the tone curve just a little bit. I'm going to bring up the highlights and the midtones, and then I'm going to not crush, but I'm going to bring down the blacks a little bit, because I like how that looks. Now, all right, I like that. Now I'm going to go into custom mode on my loop deck, and I'm actually going to go down and look at the colors right now, the color wheels, actually. So I'm going to make the highlights a little bit more of like an orange, and I'm going to make the shadows a little bit. Let's just see what this does. If I do both, well, it's too green now, so I want to make this a little more towards the orange side. And what happens if I bring the contrast and clarity? I think let's do, get out of custom mode. Let's do contrast. Let's see what happens when I bring the contrast down. Oh, I like that. I think this image is too pink overall, so let's do a little more green in here. And then I need to bring the exposure down. I think that's what's throwing me. Maybe bring back some of that contrast in there. And then, I don't know, maybe I should do something else with the color wheels. Maybe I shouldn't do like just straight orange. Maybe I should do like a, that's not bad. What can I do here? I'm doing this because I have a light up here that's kind of rough. Let's see. Bum. I think that looks pretty cool. And then from there, let's actually go into the tone curve, and let me just see if bringing up or down a little bit would look kind of neat. All right, I wanted to get a little bit creative, and it looks cool. Maybe I should bring the blacks down. I think that might help me a little bit. What is going on? What is this affecting? I can't even, what is happening right now? Oh, I didn't know I could do that. That's actually really cool. But getting out of that, I just want to affect the blacks right now and bring those back down a bit. Now let's see how this looks. Super green. Sweet. All right, well, let's just go with a preset maybe, because that looks, oh, that looks so much better. Hold on. Because if I can do, let's do, blacks are a little crushed in that one. All right, so once you edit a picture that you absolutely hate, reset it, and then go with a preset that you already had made and could have just done in 30 seconds instead of a few minutes, you can then, what I'll do is I will go take the image that I edited that I kind of like, and I will go select all of the images, hover over, make sure that I'm still on top of the image that I already edited, click this button, wow. Click this button at the bottom called Sync, select what settings I want to synchronize. I recommend pretty much everything except for transform, effects, healing, crop, and masking, because effects, masking, healing, crop, and transform are more image specific, where all of the other ones, calibration, detail, HSL, basics, and stuff like that are all fairly universal across all the images. Masking, cropping, you're obviously going to want to do that per photo depending on what's going to make the best image. So Click synchronize. It's going to copy all these settings to all of these photos. And then what you do is go photo to photo and fine tune. If you find anything that you hate, you correct it. If you find anything that you love, you enhance it, and then maybe even make a photo. Like, let's just say I liked this photo once I edited it and I was like, well, I like this edit way better. I can then select all the images, sync, and do the same thing again and set all the images to closer to looking like that one. So it really just depends on how you want to attack this entire thing. But that's my workflow for this. Then once I finish all the images, let's just say I got all these done, I'm checking them, I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing. Boom, let's just assume that that one wasn't underexposed. I would go into here, select all of the images, click on File, Export. Nope, that's the wrong thing. I clicked on the wrong thing. Click Export. It'll open up the export window. I choose what folder I'm going to save it to. In my instance, I'm going to go into my folder. I'm going to click Edited, which is where I save all of my stuff. Go into here. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to go Star Wars Fan Film Day 1 Photos. Maybe I should do choreography. I'm going to go into here and I'm going to select what file type. For most things, I do JPEG and limit the file size to 500 kilobytes only because that is best for social media, websites, and things like that. Very low resolution images, but it still maintains all of the quality if you're not going to zoom into it and if you're going to post it on social platforms where they already compress and crush your photos anyway. If you're not going to do that, what I'll do for like brands and stuff is I'll give them two identical catalogs. The first one being a JPEG low resolution catalog that they can use for their socials and website, and the second one is TIFF files, basically lossless images with all of the data and information still contained inside of the image, and I'll give them those two equal catalogs. Once I've set up the settings that I'm going to do, I go into there, choose where it's going to go, give it a name. If I want to put it in a subfolder, I can check this, put it in a subfolder. I don't usually do that because I usually make all the folders individually by that. When I do give them two identical catalogs, what I will do is put in subfolder, and I will do like JPEG and create a JPEG folder, or I'll do a TIFF folder and do a TIFF, assuming you spell it correctly, like I did not just there. Then once you're done there, I personally like to do custom name and then the extensions, and I click export. And it'll give you this warning, it doesn't matter, click continue. And then your photos are going to export, and then you have all of your finished assets. So that is my workflow. First off, you get all of your images from your camera onto your computer, put them in a folder where you're going to remember them. Second one, create a Lightroom catalog. Put the Lightroom catalog somewhere where you're going to remember it. Open up said Lightroom catalog, file, import photos and video. Import all of the photos into your catalog, let it do its thing, wait for both progress bars to run out. The first one is when all the photos are importing. The second one is creating all of the low resolution images that you can use to basically view everything. Wait for both of those processes to end. Once it ends, go through, sort all the images, bring your gallery from multi-hundreds of photos down to only the ones that you want using the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars. I personally do that. Some people use colors, some people use whatever, it doesn't matter. Do that until you get a gallery that you're happy with. Edit the first photo, paste all the settings to all of the relevant images that look somewhat like that. If you have indoor and outdoor photos, edit an indoor photo, copy that and paste that to all of the indoor images. And if you have an outdoor photo, edit that and then paste that to all of the outdoor images. Fine tune each image from there depending on your liking. Make sure everything looks cohesive and consistent so it doesn't look like you put 14 different galleries together through the same photo shoot. Once you're done with that, highlight everything, export it in the resolution that matters to the client. If they're using it for big print and branding, do some TIFF files, do some high-end PNGs. If they're using it for social media and website stuff, give them some low-resolution JPEGs. They will thank you later. Let me know if this helps you out at all. Let me know if anything didn't make sense. This has been my workflow for years in Lightroom Classic. I've slowly been refining it into exactly what it is now. And if this has been helpful to you, it would mean the world to me if you subscribe and follow and do all those things so that you can learn more as I continue to put out more of the things and processes that I have spent lots and lots of time putting together. So if you want to learn more of those things related to this, go ahead and follow. And deuces. Fun fact, this loop deck is fantastic.